Welcome to Ecstatic Yoga. I am Grace. This is Xander the cat. Alexander the Great. Xander for short. So glad you came and you're here for our yin yoga. This is more of a restorative yoga, so we'll be holding postures longer. This isn't effort-based, so to say, although we will be putting some effort in. But the intention is to draw the energy in and to actually sink down deeply into our being, into our soul, into our heart, into the deepest aspect of our being that we can touch in any now moment. And allowing ourselves to bask in that deepest place. And it can become very ecstatic. It doesn't have to be ecstatic. Sometimes it's just flat, or there's this tremendous light or spaciousness, sense of rejuvenation, awakeness, alertness. Sometimes it can bring tears. Sometimes it can bring laughter. It's an immensity and a mystery and a power and a presence that is something that cannot be described. It can only be experienced. We can talk about it oh so long, and then you've got to dive into that nectar. And so we're going to begin the class now, diving into our nectar. Sitting up nice and straight, allow the natural curvature of the spine, but feel the spine elongate. Feel yourself become taller and lift the head and the chin and feel the neck lift up so you're sitting as tall as you can for a moment, and take those shoulders and bring them back so your shoulder blades are going to be squeezing apart a little, and then drop them down to relax. And let's engage the bandhas for a moment. The Mula Bandha first, that's our perineum, our Kegel muscles. Uddiyana Bandha, we're going to bring the belly in and up. Jamandala Bandha, the tongue is going to be on the roof of the mouth. We're going to bring that chin in a little. It's parallel to the floor right now. And let's breathe. Sitting in easy pose. Noticing all the sensation inside your body. Noticing where your physical body is. Noticing your legs, your arms, your back. You may want to engage those bandhas. I just noticed I went out a little. Engaging those bandhas again, and breathe. Diving in to sensation inside your being. Basking in that nectar. Your being, connecting deeply from the space of connecting deeply within, and allowing the body to be in a yin state, a spontaneous state, a gentle space. We allow the life force and the energy or deeper part of ourselves to emerge into this physical being. And as we breathe through the postures and we engage the bandhas, we increase the energy inside the body, the prana, the life force, and relax the body inside. Fill it with light, and also allow it to open up those deeper energies. And you may notice things pulsate at times. Waves of energy moving through your body. You're just part of the energy field, and your physical body is as well. You're simply opening it up to notice the sensation more. It's always going on. Just becoming more sensitive to that sensation, because your mind is at rest. It's not distracted elsewhere. So in this practice, we're going to bring our attention and our concentration into the body, into the sensations of the body, the physical body, the life force inside the body, all aspects. We feel that maybe the organs in the body or the bones in the body, the blood flowing through the body. We see the body as light inside. This is the intention of restoring yin yoga, ecstatic yin yoga. So we're going to begin to rock back and forth. Rock back and forth, and you can rest your hands on your knees or anywhere that feels okay. Just feeling those shoulders, bringing the consciousness into the shoulders for a little bit and allowing those shoulders to move a little bit. Just being natural and spontaneous. Your body may want to do something a little different than mine, but stay in the range of we are rocking back and forth, sitting in easy pose, and we're moving the upper body in gentle, spontaneous movements that feel good and feel beautiful. And just breathing into it, keeping that breath flowing, the life force pulsing through your body. Feeling what you want to feel in your body here. Easy pose. And I'm feeling like just shaking back and forth a little bit. Feels good. Allow the body to take over. Just surrender to the energy, the light within you. Beautiful. And we're going to move into some cat-cows. So we're going to let those movements come to a stop for a moment. And let's inhale into our cow. Extending the spine, opening the shoulders, dropping the head back a little bit. Tailbone is sticking out. Just noticing that curvature of the spine. And as you exhale, watch that spine. As you see in your mind's eye the tailbone and the sacrum tucking under, thoracic vertebrae, the lumbars even the cervicals and the skull. Feel that flexion. And moving back to cow and just doing a few cat-cows, really noticing how this is affecting your body inside in the energy level, and breathing. Inhale into cow, exhale into cat. And beginning to move into cat-cow spontaneously. Keeping the breath flowing, but just moving that spine spontaneously in all directions for a little while. You might want to go into a little bit of a cat, a little bit of a cow, a little shake, a little twist. Just feeling the spine. And beginning to come down towards the floor, bringing the hands down to the floor. Maybe rocking back and forth a little bit. I'm going to take a little time to rest in this pose, and the intention is
to bring your concentration and your awareness inside your body. And if you notice thinking coming up, just title it thinking. Doesn't matter what the thought is, thinking. And just, we're going to put that on the other side of the door. And we're going to be basking in the nectar inside the body. We don't want to get distracted right now by anything in the outer world. This is pratyahara. We're withdrawing all the senses from the outer world, and we're going to dive into all the sensation inside the being. And we're going to sit here for a little time. If it isn't comfortable for you, you can get up onto your knees and move into child's pose. You can lay on your back. And we're going to maintain this in easy pose for a few minutes. And then we're going to move along. But the intention is going to be basking inside the body in the felt sense of the being. We'll begin. Going inward and knowing you're safe. You can rest here in this moment. And just rest here in this moment with yourself. You alone with yourself. And you can embrace that. And surrender into that union with the self. Beginning to come up a little bit. Nice and slowly coming all the way up. Beautiful job. And we're going to bring those feet together. Take my socks off. Feel my feet. Bring those feet together and we're just going to rock back and forth. Hi, Xander. So we're in bound ankle or butterfly now. So we can kind of open those feet if you want and give them a little massage. And while you massage them, you can rock back and forth a little or stretch out if you want. The invitation is to massage these feet as if they are the most sacred feet in the universe. Give you a few moments to massage your feet as if they are the most sacred feet in the universe. Massage your feet as if God of your understanding, treasured loved one on the other side, an angel, master or guide, is rubbing your feet with you together.
How would they touch you? It's the most loving energy that could ever exist. How would it touch you? The nice thing about massaging your sacred feet is that you know what feels good. You can make yourself feel good. And go right to the spot. Put just the right pressure on. Allowing whatever spontaneous movements occur. Everyone is unique. Some are similar. We don't have any expectations. However, yoga always feels good. We don't go into pain in yoga. We back off. You can always back off and get into a child's pose, into a easy pose, laying on your back in a Savasana position. So that's always an option for you. If you just need to back off and definitely always avoid the pain, but even if you're a little tired. So we are going to move on right now. We're going to come up onto the mat, the side, and get into a tabletop position. So the hands are right under the shoulders and the knees are right right below the hips. And we're moving into cat as we stick the tailbone out, drop that stomach, arch the back, see the extension of the spine. Inhaling as you come up and lift the head, shoulders are back. And into our cat, tucking the tailbone under, rounding that back. Nice, slow, deep inhale, dropping the head. And exhale into cow. And going at your own pace now, back and forth in cat, cow. Making them slow enough movements right now so you can really pay attention to the sensation. And beginning to maybe make some circles when you're in your cat. Circling those hips around. Feeling a nice stretch on the low back. And you may want to stop at a spot and sit there for a minute. Keeping the breath flowing. And moving into your cow and just spontaneous movements now. However, your body is feeling moving as it flows back and forth into cat-cow, but it may stay in a position or move side to side, allowing your body to move in the most enjoyable, fun, easy, sensual way for you. Noticing sensations and enjoying this. Keeping the breath flowing, keeping the attention inward. The dynamic energy field within you. And coming to center. Beautiful job. I'm going to do a little shoulder stretch called threading the needle. And so we're going to take that right hand and we're going to lift it up, opening the chest. Beautiful job. And then as you exhale, we're going to take that right through the left armpit. And resting the head down. And you can bring the palms so it's up, and you can rest the left forearm down and get into a comfortable position so we can lay here for a few minutes and breathe. And you can engage that Mula Bandha if you like as you bring the prana and life force in through the breath. And beginning to come up, bringing that right arm back up, opening up the chest, and then bringing it down onto the mat right under the shoulder. And we're going to go to the other side. So we're going to take the left arm up, stretching that up, opening up the body, and then we're going to bring that down through under the right arm and armpit and rest the head down. Get in a somewhat comfortable position, and we just breathe and bask in the sensations within our body that are arising and pulsating. You may notice your heart beating. And coming up, and that left arm up, opening up the side body and bringing it down. Beautiful job. We're going to do a balancing table now. We like to put a little balance in, even though it's a yin class. So we're going to take the right arm up and extend that up out away from the body, and the left leg out and straight out. And engage those bandhas, and let's breathe. One more breath. Beautiful, and release down. Beautiful job. We're going to go to the other side. So we're going to lift the left arm and up, fingertips stretching out, right leg. Engage those bandhas and breathe. One more nice deep breath. And release down. Beautiful job. And let's go into a child's pose. You might want to open your knees up a little bit so your belly can come in and rest in, bringing the head down to the mat. The arms can be out front or to the side. And we're going to spend a little time in our child's pose, basking in the nectar of our sensations, the vibrations, energy field, and the aliveness within us. And keep that breath moving and flowing. If you notice thoughts, just label them thinking and come back to the aliveness within.
focusing on the inner, ever-expanding energy field within you. You may simply slip into the nectar. The inner wine. Starting to come up. A nice extended child's pose as we bask in the nectar, mindfully, with presence, noticing that inner aliveness within us and what that's connected to, that brilliant light. And we're going to come into tabletop, and we are going to bring that right foot up, right inside the right hand, between both hands. And we're going to move into lunge rocks. So I'm going to lunge forward. And it's okay now with the position we're in that the knees be a little forward of the ankle. We're in a different position than if we were in warrior. And we're going to lunge back. Feel a nice stretch on those leg muscles. You can flex and extend that front foot. And we're just going to enjoy these spontaneous movements, finding your rhythm. You might want to open up the pelvis a little when you're lunging forward. Finding a spontaneous flow in your lunge rocks. Bringing all that awareness. We're in Pratyahara still. We are withdrawing our awareness from the outer world and bringing all our concentrated effort into the body. Sensations, vibrations. Keep the breath flowing. We'll be in this for a few moments. Creating your last lunge, and we're going to move into a centered position. Bringing the hands back to their foundation, bringing that front leg back so you're back in your table. Let's go into a couple cat-cows just for the fun of it. Exhaling into your cat, moving spontaneously if you like. And coming back to center. And we're going to take the left foot up right next to the left hand. Right knee is still in the same position, and we're going to lunge forward on this side. And lunging back. And again, in a nice spontaneous movement, going into your lunge rocks, lunging forward and back, but adding any spontaneous movements that may feel good for you. Fully engaged and grounded in the body. Safe to be fully in the body. Keep the breath flowing. Beautiful job. And then coming back to center. Beautiful job. And we're going to bring that foot back. And we're going to come down onto our stomachs. And we're going to take a moment now to rest your head either direction and simply rest into the earth for a few moments. Feeling that oneness and that connection to Mother Earth. Staying inside your inner being, however, connecting with the earth as your mother and knowing that every cell in your body was a cell in the earth. It is earth energy. So take a few moments here to relax into the earth. And we're going to come back to center. And I invite you to bring both hands to the side out about 30 degrees. We're going to become a bird or an airplane, whichever inspires you most. So feel that rooting. Feel the pelvic bone rooted into the earth, the hips, pelvis. Feel the abdomen on the earth. And as we inhale, we're going to lift the legs, the arms, the head, and the chest. And breathe in your bird or airplane. If you can breathe into the belly, lift yourself up a little higher with the inhale, lower with the exhale. One more breath. Coming down. Beautiful job. And we're going to grab our feet, both ankles. And on our next inhale, we're going to lift the thighs up, our head and our heart in our bow.
And breathe in the belly. One more breath. And release. Good job. And resting on your stomach, but turning your head to the other side. Whatever direction you had it before, have it the other direction. And again, sink into the earth as you are one with the earth. Fully present to your body sensation as one with the earth. Coming back to center. Oh, beautiful job. We're going to bring the arms in front of us, forearms, and just rest in a Sphinx posture for a moment. Feeling a slight back bend on the back. Feeling the backs of the feet resting on the mat and the palms of the hand. And you can engage that Mula Bandha, Uddiyana Bandha, Dharandala Bandha, and breathe. Noticing yourself as pure sensation. One more breath. Beautiful job. And we're going to move into our child's pose from here. So you're going to come up onto your knees. Sorry, Xander. Sorry, little man. And we're going to move into our child's pose. We get Xander in a child's pose, maybe. And just resting here for a few minutes. And again, connecting deeply with the innermost, deepest aspect of your being. And if your body moves a little in this child's pose, you want to open your knees up a little. Allow your body to move. Just gentle, subtle movements. Keeping the breath flowing, bringing the awareness inward. If you're moving, allow the movement to come to a stop. Once the movements come to a stop, pushing yourself back up. We'll do a forward fold. Single leg forward fold. So take that left leg out. Beautiful job. And we're going to take the right leg so the foot is resting on the inner thigh of the left leg. And inhale as you elongate that spine as tall as you can in your spine, lifting the head and then hinging at the hips. And so the spine isn't moving anymore. It's just staying elongated, and the only joint that's moving is the hips. And hinge until those hamstrings, the back leg muscles, tell you that's enough. And when you get to that spot, simply engage those bandhas and rest and breathe into it. And on your last exhale, allowing the spine to round and coming down onto your hands if you can. Everyone is going to be at different places. Wherever you are is perfect. It's about how attentive you are to the sensation rather than how knotted up like a pretzel you can be. And rest here, bringing the awareness into pratyahara. Aliveness. Gently and slowly coming up. Beautiful job. We're going to switch legs now. So taking the right leg out, left leg in. Inhaling, elongating that spine. Exhale, folding forward. Beautiful job. Hands on the mat, coming down wherever you feel comfortable. Never forcing, no pain. allowing the body to open. And when you get to that spot where the back leg muscles say that's enough hinging for now, hold that position, engaging the bandhas, and breathe. Bring the prana in. Fully focused on the body and sensation. Aware of where your legs are. And on your next exhale, rounding the spine. And resting here. And finishing up the last breath, and gently and slowly go all the way up. Stretching both legs out. And bounce those legs a little bit. Little windshield wiper washers. And you can bring those arms back behind you a little bit and let them flop around. Just really bringing your awareness to the legs and the sensation that you have legs. Windshield wipe them again. And just begin to make any spontaneous movements and any pattern that feels good for you. The legs, and get the upper body involved a little. Moving those legs. And come to a close, and we're going to come up to the very top of the mat, go into our spinal rocks. Feels so good for the spine. Keeps that spine supple and awake. Noticing the sensation as you move into these spinal rocks. Feeling that massage along the vertebrae. Keep the breath flowing. Good job. And then finally coming all the way down. And we're going to have the legs up. It's resting up. This is a yin practice, so you may want to just stay with the legs up, or you may even want to have the legs up the wall and really go into a really deep yin. However, if your body's feeling it, you can go into a half shoulder stand, lifting those hips up, holding on to them, trying to get the feet so they're right over the head. And you can rest here, half shoulder stand. And on your next exhale, hinging those legs down, back behind you. Some people like to take one at a time. You can do that too. If the toes reach the floor, that's great. If not, that's okay too. And let's take a couple breaths here. Beautiful job. And releasing down. All the way down, one vertebrae at a time. And let's grab those feet and go right into happy baby, pushing the feet down, pulling them down, pulling them down. And we can rock back and forth a little bit. Our happy baby. Baby. Keep the breath flowing. And moving into a spontaneous happy baby, we just kick around, just like we all did when we were babies. Just doing what feels good. Just a baby moving your legs. Enjoying the movement, enjoying the play. It's fun. Play in your body. Beautiful job. And we're going to release those feet to the floor. And we're going to go into a half table, two-legged table. Feet are on the mat, arms are alongside of you, and you're going to lift those hips up, the pelvis up to a two-legged table, so you have a nice little slant. Your table's slanting down. So we're not arching the back right now. We're just holding it stable. And you can engage that Mula Bandha, Uddiyana Bandha, Charandala Bandha, and breathe. One more breath. And on the exhale, releasing down one vertebrae at a time. One vertebrae at a time. Beautiful job. Bringing those knees in, into the chest. Rocking around a little bit. Beautiful job. And we're going to keep those knees up. And let's go into a little twist before we go into our releases. So keep the right knee up and the left leg straight out. Let's lift that hip up just a little bit. This is the left hip. Bring the right knee to the left hand on the right knee, and take that right hand and stretch it out 90 degrees and turn your head to gaze out over the fingertips. And engage those bandhas and breathe. And releasing the leg, allowing the leg to come back. And we're going to switch legs. So we can bring the right leg extended out, the left leg knee is up, coming up onto the right side, so up on our right hip just a little bit, taking the left knee, bending that, bringing that over to the right hand is on the left knee to guide it over to where it feels comfortable. You're right on your edge, never any pain, always in the hurt so good zone. Left arm stretched out and taking the head to gaze out over the left fingertips. This is beautiful because I can see you, but I'm going to close my eyes now, and I invite everybody to go inward, into the body, keeping the prana and life force moving through the body with the breath. Breathing into the belly. Fully engaged in the body, state of peace and stillness. And letting that knee go, relaxing. And we're going to actually come to our back and bring both knees up and go into a couple releases before we go into Savasana. So the first release is our hula. So let's take the left hip and bring that up.
coming up towards the left armpit, and the right hip is going down towards the right heel. The sacrum is flat on the ground. It's not lifting up at all, but it's twisting, but it's flat on the ground. So we're going to swivel those hips in this manner called hula. This releases and relaxes the lower back. So when we go into Savasana, we're real comfortable. Just do a few more of these nice hulas. Noticing sensation. These are nice, slow, gentle movements. We're going to go into a little bit faster hip movement when we awaken the chi energy, but not quite yet. And we're going to come to center position. We're going to go into hip pointers. So I'm going to have my right hip grounded into the earth, and I'm going to lift this left hip up and point that right up into the ceiling. I'm going to lift it up. There we go, and I'm going to relax it down. And we're going to go to the other side. Lift that hip up, point hip pointers. We're pointing those hips up towards the sky and relaxing down. And noticing sensation, noticing the difference from side to side, if there is any. And breathe. Slow, gentle movements, staying fully focused to sensation. Fully present and grounded in the body, feeling the feet on the mat, buttocks on the mat, your back of your head, and coming back to center. Beautiful job. We're going to move now into cat-cow on the floor. So let's start with our cow. We usually do. So we're going to stick the tailbone out like we're wagging our tail, arching that back up off the mat, and your back may not come off the mat, or it may, and opening the chest. Beautiful job. The head may come down, and then we're going to move into our cow. We're going to tuck that tailbone under. We're going to press the small of the back into the mat. We might even engage our glutes a little bit. Head is going to be neutral. Shoulders are relaxed. And going back and forth into cat and cow on the mat. Inhaling into cow, exhaling into cat. And coming back to center. Beautiful job. And we're going to take these feet and we are going to walk them out to the wide edges of the mat, keeping your knees up. Beautiful. The knees are up and the feet are over the wide edges of the mat. Mine is half on the mat and half on the carpet. Beautiful. Hands alongside us. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to lift those hips up a little bit, just like a two-legged table, a wide two-legged table, and come all the way down one vertebrae at a time, nice and slow, like a string of pearls. We're going to do this 2 more times, lifting up into our two-legged table and coming down one vertebrae at a time. Beautiful. One more time, lifting up, two-legged table, coming down one vertebrae at a time. Beautiful. And we're going to drop one knee at a time into the center, nice and gentle. Find your edge, not forcing, not pushing, never pulling or snapping anything. Nice and gentle, just a gentle edge for your body. If you want to stay one a little longer than another, I sometimes like to massage my low back while doing this. Moving back and forth at your own pace, massaging that lower back a little if you like. Finding your rhythm. And coming back to center. Good job. And let's walk those feet back together. And we're going to drop both knees are still up. We're going to drop both knees over to the left side. And we're going to lift the top leg up, the top knee up, coming all the way over to the right. And the left is going to begin to follow and drop over to the right. And then both knees are over to the right. We're going to hold it for a moment, a few breaths. One more breath. And on your next inhale, we're going to lift the left leg and knee, and that's going to come over to the left side, and the right is going to follow it all the way over. And we're going to come over to both legs over to the left and take 3 nice, slow, deep breaths into the belly. Enjoying sensation. One more breath. And then bringing those knees up to center. And we're going to move now into our Savasana position. Getting a blanket, we're going to do one last chi movement. And we're going to go directly into Savasana. There are machines that you can buy to build up your chi. And what they basically do is they move your hips back and forth. That's it. And then your feet start to move back and forth. And then the upper body starts to move back and forth. And they put you on that for 3 minutes or something. You turn the machine on, or 10 minutes or 15 minutes, whatever feels right for you. And it builds up your chi in your entire body. So we're going to do the same thing without the machine. We're going to use our own muscle energy and just swivel those hips. And the feet will move, and we're going to build up the chi energy. Now, if you want to go directly into Savasana and just sink into stillness, you can do that. If you'd like to do this chi exercise, then you can join me. So it's kind of similar to our hula, where one hip went up and the other dropped down, but we're just making much smaller movements now and faster. And you can start off kind of slow and begin to build up to a speed that feels good for you. Allow your body to go into its own natural chi machine. And breathe. A little bit longer. One more breath. And slowing down and stopping. And you can adjust your back now to a comfortable position. Make a little subtle movements to your chi practice. You may want to go into Savasana with your knees up. That actually helps my back feel better when I do that, and I can still relax. Or stay in Savasana pose. And we're going to feel our bodies melting into the earth, mindful of all the sensations, fully present to our body. And during this Savasana, we're going to practice mindfulness. And at the same time, we're going to be practicing basking in the nectar of our infinite, ever-expanding and ecstatic being. And we'll begin now, finding your own anchor, whether it's the breath, a mantra, or an image, or simply sensation. I will bring you back from Savasana when it's time to close the class. Enjoy. Experiencing yourself as a dynamic energy field, completely separate from thought. Felt sense. Nothing else exists but you and your body and the inner aliveness within you. Basking in the nectar, enjoying the sensation. The inner wine. Beginning to bring your awareness to your breath and breathing into your belly, lower abdomen. Finding your breathing rhythm. Becoming very aware of your physical body, feeling your feet on the mat or your back of your legs on the yoga mat, the ground, the floor. Feeling your back against the mat. Feeling your hands, your head, your feet. Feeling grounded by the earth. Safe in this body. And begin to roll over to one side. Nice little fetal position. Taking a moment to rest here in stillness. Bringing your attention inside the being, noticing the shifts of energy as your body shifts. Shifts of sensations. Shifts of emotions. And when you're ready, gently and kindly coming up to a seated position. And stay cozy in your blanket. Sitting in easy pose. And rest your hands on your knees or on your lap. Taking a moment now to dive inward and scan your body with your awareness, noticing sensations. Noticing where you're at energetically, sensations, emotions, physically, mentally, spiritually. I honor the place in you in which the entire universe dwells. I honor the place in you which is of love, light, truth, and peace. And when you are in that place in you and I am in that place in me, we are one. Namaste. Thank you for joining us for Ecstatic Yin Yoga. So glad that you're here. You can go to ecstaticyoga.studio to find out more information about our yoga teacher trainings and our retreats. Wishing you a most beautiful and most blessed day. Namaste.